Here we go, the PS4, the so-called proclaimed champion of the next generation. Originally, I wanted to have the Watch Dogs Collector's Edition come down beside it, but no, Ubisoft had to go and delay a game for another frickin' half a year. But anyways, here's the PlayStation 4, and look, I even got the PlayStation camera, since that was supposed to come with the system, so I needed to get it that way. Thank you for cutting that out and making me spend extra money. Heck, actually, since this is $60, it would have actually cost more if it was in the PS4 bundle like they wanted, making the system cost $500, so I actually saved $40. Thanks, Sony. Only sort of. Anyways, PS4, interesting box. Look, it's all pretty. It's got a picture of the system. It says PS4 there, and Sony. And yeah, it actually seems pretty weird I got this, considering I've never got a Sony console at launch. The closest was the PS2 in November of 2000. Was it 2000? Or was it 2001? I don't remember. Anyways, look, box. On the side, PS4. Nothing interesting. On the other side, we got a sticker that my GameStop seems to have put on. P54, GameStop guest number 54, PS4, 11, 14, and 13. Does this mean I got PlayStation 4 number 54 from my GameStop? We may never know. Anyways, console, controller. The unbelievable just happened. The PlayStation console actually shipped with the HDMI cable. This is history in the making, ladies and gentlemen. Power cable, which is essentially the same as all the other electronics in the world. Chintzy little headset, which I will probably never use. Micro USB cable for the controller. Be aware, micro USB sucks terribly. I actually broke my headset since I plugged it in, forgot I was wearing it, and got up. Needless to say, micro USB doesn't last long. And instructions, I'm pretty sure, and all that fun paperwork. But on the back, actually a quite colorful back. Nice artwork, NAC, Ezio. The two big contenders for the PS4 are nowhere to be seen. Thank you, false advertising. Let's see. And a little something for digital entertainment. I thought that was going to be pushing remote play. And then PlayStation Plus, since now you actually do need it to play online. Because Sony says, we need money to make our services better. However, with PS Plus, I have seen no reason why it's a bad thing to pay for it. A, you get discounts, B, it gets games for free. Seriously, you download one game if you buy PS Plus a year, that's $50. Games are usually like, what, 60? So as far as I'm concerned, you download one free game, and the PS Plus for a year already paid for itself. That's really nice. So yeah, needless to say, I do like PS Plus a lot more than Xbox Live Gold. Anyways, let's finally dig into this. I have been waiting an extra 2 weeks since I've been away at college, and school dictates that my life be not filled with cool toys. Okay. Let's see. Yay, I managed to move it far enough to where it won't interfere. I'm just gonna fold that over so it doesn't get sticky on anything else. I don't feel like tearing off the sticker anymore because it looks like it's starting to tear the box. Anyways, let's get into it. Also, nice little thing to know is it comes with a handle, like most Sony. That's a nice voice crack. Most of the PlayStations do. That's pretty generous of them. Something Microsoft just now started with the Xbox One. Where are you with your handles, Nintendo? I want to know. That smell of fresh electronics. Actually, I don't think it smells like anything. But look, we got a box of stuff. And I think that what most people are wondering first is the controller. Dualshock Numero Quattro. I did try this back in, like a week before the system launched, and I did give my impressions. Let's see if they've changed any bit. And indeed, they have. These sticks aren't much of an issue, and these analog sticks do feel better. The way I was holding it before is I had the controller like up here on my hand, and I had to like push from down here. It looks like they may have shortened the analog sticks from the one on the kiosk, and made The handle's maybe a tad longer. I don't know. But also to think about it, because it was on the attached to a kiosk, it also had this big metal thing going around like this to make sure no one steals it. So that probably could have affected the way I had to handle the controller and therefore made it uncomfortable. Anyways, let's take this stuff off that no one really cares about. And there was probably zero reason to even put on. I'll just throw this aside. Buttons. And they are buttons, nothing else to say there. D-pad. Feels better than the PS2 and 3 D-pad. Triggers. They finally fixed them, ladies and gentlemen. And take a look at that nice swooping action. Although it's probably hard since it is a black controller. But, needless to say, they are the welcome improvements that we've always wanted with the PS3. Share button. Options button. Touchpad. Which feels almost like the top of a DSi, which I think I mentioned. It's also clickable. Not sure if you can hear that. You can press it pretty much anywhere. And surprisingly, this is capacitive, I believe. So, like the PS Vita, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. And big ol' light bar and micro USB. Be aware of micro USB. It is... If you drop this controller with micro USB plugged into it, it will probably break. And then PlayStation button. And lock sticks feel good. Ooh. I'm flashing you, camera. Quite literally. So yeah, there is the Dualshock 4, which feels a heck of a lot nicer than the old Dualshock 2 and 3. I know everyone's doing a comparison with the Dualshock 3, but I'm going to be a rebel and do a comparison with the Dualshock 2. And I'll put the annotation in this video whenever I do get around to it. Mostly because I only have a Dualshock 2, because the PS3 was god-awful in my opinion. Anyways, little special free offers, which is the PS Plus codes. No need to show you, you thieves. Let's see what else. This has got to be the smallest instruction manual I've seen for a system. I mean, look. I mean, for crying out loud, it's about the same size as the DualShock 4 controller. That's pretty dang small. It's paperwork we don't really care about. But what we all do care about... Oh, more wires apparently. Our chintzy little headset. You can feel the cheap. I didn't think anything could beat Apple, but well done, Sony. Another high-end manufacturer that manages to make something that feels like it came straight out of China. Mostly because it did. Oh dear God, this feels worse than the Apple headphones. That's an achievement right there, Sony. Congratulations. Let's see. Micro USB. Extremely delicate. You gotta be careful. I already broke my headset just by standing up. Yeah, I'm a little bitter over that because I feel so stupid doing that. World's most common power lead. See? Got the two circle things. Same one as the Xbox. I think Dreamcast? I know the Saturn one has the one flat end. And oh my god, here's the unprecedentedness. An HDMI cable with a PlayStation. Savor that thought. Actually, is this a... It's just a regular HDMI cable. Doesn't even look as nice as the Xbox One's HDMI cable. One thing I like about Nintendo, they actually did personalize their HDMI cable, which I really like. But, none of that. It is time for the monolith itself. Which actually does look a lot bigger in real life than the pictures online make it seem. They even have to go all fancy and make their styrofoam wrap clear in the middle so that you can see the system. And speaking of the system, voila, here it is. The ugliest thing since the Xbox One. Actually, I remember saying this before and I'll say it again. This thing looks like what would happen if you put an Xbox One through a frickin' wind tunnel and then run over it with a steamroller. Mostly because it isn't as thick. There's your disk drive, it's right here. You can't see it, and neither could I, which is why the entire time between February and now, I wondered where the heck you put the discs. And you have two USB 3.0 ports there. Even though nothing I know uses USB 3.0. There's only one thing in the world I know uses USB 3.0 right now, That's the Elgato game capture. And then let's see, let's look at the back. It says PS4 right here in this little area, which I thought was going to have the analog out originally. They probably dropped it. Then you have optical audio out, HDMI out, Ethernet port, and then an auxiliary port for your camera. This is all pointless to show you because you cannot see it. Thank you, Sony, for giving us the blackest of black consoles next to the Xbox One. And then under this shiny bit is where you would put in your hard drive, which is upgradable, which I do like. Actually, jump cut. Alright, so under the watchful eye of my Xbox 360 controller, you sit over there. We're going to perform a little bit of surgery. The console hasn't even been plugged in yet, and I'm already going to be tearing it apart. So let's get to it. I have this 240 gig SSD drive. I know it's about half the size, but hey, this is launch time. There's nothing for the system yet. So, let's get to it. Let's see, this plastic bit here should just slide off. It's probably going to be a little harder since I am on a, as you can see, calendar on my desk which slides around. Ah, there we go. I know that didn't sound good, but believe me, everything is still here in one piece. Oh. Take a look at this. You probably can't see this. Come on, focus. Focus. You know you want to. Well, I'll show you after. But Sony actually went through the trouble of personalizing the screw that holds in the hard drive. It's got the PlayStation buttons on it. Actually, I'll show you after I take it out. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There it is. Come on. Focus. Focus, camera. There we go. You see, X square, circle, triangle. Now that is funny just because of all the trouble they went through just for that. I mean, they personalized a screw that holds it in the hard drive. Right, so now that's taken out. This should just slide out. Indeed it does. Let's see, what do we have here? This is a hard drive by a company I've never heard of. HGST? Huh. I've actually never heard of this company before. This type of hard drive. Anyways. So now that it's out, I'm just gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Just unscrew it, and then we'll have some fun. Got it. Let this be a lesson to you. Never drop a black screw on a dark green carpet when it's the middle of the night. Jeez. Anyways, here is the old hard drive. Here is the SSD now into the little thing that's on PS3s and 4s alike. I'm looking at words. So now I'll plug it in. And take the fancy personalized screw and put that back where it belongs. Right there. There you go, fancy screw. Now I just need a screwdriver. You know, I haven't bothered to try this, but I wonder if you to rip apart the Xbox 360 hard drive, if you could put an SSD into that. It's something I'm going to have to try with mine. I mean, my hard drive now is already a Chinese knockoff, so I'm not going to ruin it by just putting in a better drive. So yeah, now the SSD is now officially installed. So what does this mean? Well, it means now you have to go onto Sony's website and download the latest firmware for the PS4, since of course you just put in an unformatted drive. and this I'm going to have to keep safe, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a time a little bit down the road where 240 gigs won't cut it. And I'm not going to spend over $500 just for a 512 gigabyte SSD. I wait for those to come down. But at least on a side note for reference, I believe the PS4 supports up to a 2 terabyte drive. So if you're going to be gaming a lot, then you can put in a 2 terabyte drive. Just don't expect it to be the fastest thing in the world. Especially if you're going to be reverting back from an SSD like I will most likely be in the future. Unless Sony has support for external drives, which I think they said they will in the future. So there might be hope for my SSD in the PS4. Right, so I think now I'm going to go toss the firmware onto a flash drive and then hook this thing up. God forbid this thing cooks itself because it turns out to be a sabotaged unit. Hoping not.